Grammy-nominated comedian, New York Times best-selling author, and multi-platinum selling father of 5, whose show, The Jim Gaffigan Show, premieres June 15th on TV Land. He is Jim Gaffigan right here in studio. Good to see you, sir.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
So you saw Von Miller.
Yes.
And you saw this in the green room back there.
There was an amazing necklace, a Jesus necklace, of Jesus's head. And I said, what's this? I thought maybe it was for like a sketch or something.
No.
And someone said, that's Von Miller's. And I said, I think I should put it on. And I put it on and I walked out here. And he was such a good sport about it because it's probably like $100,000.
Do you think that is the most expensive piece of jewelry or anything you've ever put on in your career or life, Jim?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
How weighty was it? Was it heavy?
It was pretty heavy. I mean, I think it's solid gold.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of jewelry to compare it to, but that's a lot of, and you know, I mean, it's amazing that he, or the jeweler, got Jesus to pose. If we can zoom in, it's an amazing replica.
It is. Is it really?
Of Jesus's head.
Well, now
it's a young Jesus.
If you noticed, I stepped in to prevent that awkward moment of Von saying, "When can I have that back?"
Because there is the possibility he could have punched me for very good reason. It's like, what if this was like a gift from his mother or something?
Correct.
I mean, I don't think he wanted a pudgy, balding white guy to wear his. Maybe he designed it himself.
This could have a lot more meaning and value than just obviously, the appraisal value of this thing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Jim Gaffigan here on The Rich Eisen Show. Sneak previews of your new show available Monday, June 8th on iTunes and then June 9th at 11 p.m. on TV Land. Tell me about this program, Jim.
Well, this is a show, it's, my wife and I, we wrote all the episodes. You're married to a strong woman who's very fertile, like my wife. And we wrote all these episodes. It's all the stories are inspired by our life.
So you play yourself?
I play myself, a less good-looking version of myself. And we have 5 kids, and it's single-camera comedy. And Jeannie and I, they kind of left us alone, so we did the show we wanted. And we did a sneak peek, and so it went on after Hot in Cleveland. And to see the ending of Hot in Cleveland and the show that Jeannie and I worked on, it's pretty different. But I don't know, we'll see. You liked it.
I did. Did
you honestly like
yes.
it? A guy over there liked it.
Yeah, no, we saw it for the TV audience. We watched in the commercial break the scene of you, and you got real cameos too, because the story is there's an article written about you in the Huffington Post and a Bible, but then it cuts to Jake Tapper talking about you, Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Glenn Beck, it's amazing, some of these. I mean, I can't, I think once you get like Chris Rock and Jon Stewart, then a lot of these people are like, yeah, all right, I'll do it.
That's about that. Yeah, that's you went right to the top.
Yeah, but believe me, it makes sense for the story. It's not like, all right, what famous people can I get in this? Hopefully it works.
Well, you have no idea what a Chris Law endorsement means. I know you mentioned Chris Rock and Jon Stewart, but you have no earthly idea the bump that is about to be afforded.
Is that an Imus doll?
No. I'm internationally published. I mean...
Yeah.
Which doll was he referring to?
I think there was somebody in a cowboy hat. I thought that was Don Imus.
No.
This is Champ Kind.
That's Champ Kind right there. Yeah.
All right.
David Koechner autographed. Yeah, there's so much crap over there. And underneath the desk.
But no, I mean, a lot of people would think that this is a sign of immaturity, that you have toys and knickknacks on your work desk, but I think that it's a good sign.
Yeah,
do you have toys and knicknacks at your workspace?
I have nothing. I have 5 kids. I have nothing. I'll be dead in a year, but I have a legacy. I did this show. I'm months away from just collapsing. And
how old are your children?
I don't know. They just keep multiplying. So I'm trying to be responsible, though.
Sure.
I went to Shake Shack. It was like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
No, not Shake Shack, In-N-Out, because it's like in New York, it's Shake Shack, and out here in and out. And I was standing there, and they're like unlocking the door, and I'm kind of like, can I come in there? And they're like, all right, weirdo. It's me and some construction worker guy, and it's just like fat guys just like drawn there like food. But
So who are you buying the In-N-Outs for? I mean, for your children?
For me.
Oh, okay.
For me.
Okay.
My kids are in New York, so I actually got like 6 hours of sleep last night.
I was about to say, like, this is a vacation for you, right?
I mean, you've got 3. Did they come? Did they come in your bed and just kick you?
Jim, they don't come in the bed and kick. It's 2 a.m. walking in, trudging into the room.
Yeah.
And then saying, I had a bad dream. And,
Yeah, they always
And
have
then
bad
it's just
dreams.
like,
I don't buy it.
about what, the one that I got a couple weeks ago from our oldest Xander is that he dreamt of a Komodo dragon at the bottom of the pool.
That'll happen.
And
That'll happen.
so, but
How
it's one of those
old are
things
they?
where now I just want to, I go from being, oh my God, just 2 a.m, really, to, okay, how can I help?
Yes.
To, how did you know about a Komodo dragon?
Yeah.
Who the hell is teaching? I'm wondering if he saw The Graduate,
Oh, absolutely.
So
So
I have no idea.
how old are your kids?
Almost 7.
Yeah.
4, soon to be 4.5, and not yet 2.
And you have girls and orangutans?
2 boys.
Because the boys are, they're monsters. I mean, it is a man's world, but if you look at little boys and little girls, you would never think a man would be in charge of anything. Because little boys are insane. Like, if you have a little girl, you think, I should probably save for med school. But when you have a little boy, you think, there's gonna be a couple rounds of rehab. And, I mean, I love my kids. I mean,
Of course.
not a lot, but I do. I mean, it's just... I mean, my wife is very attractive. Whatever she wants, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Happy
be
wife,
dead in
happy
a year
life.
anyway.
You said you're going to be dead in less than a year,
I
a
think
moment ago.
3 months.
Okay.
3 months. Maybe I'll be walking through an airport and I'll just collapse.
Right.
That would be interesting.
But right now, this is like vacation time
That
for
would be
you,
a
right?
good story, right? Yeah, I'm on vacation. I sat on a plane. There was no yelling. I mean, do you ever hear phantom yelling?
Oh, yes.
Like it just like.
Oh, of
I
course.
think there's some screaming.
Oh, yes, on a plane, and it's just like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But
being a father is
Yes.
the most important thing I will fail at.
everybody who has kids always puts that.
Yeah, Law's been married
because
5 years, right? Or coming up.
5 years coming up next week.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's going to get something wood for his wife because it's
50th anniversary?
Right. My anniversary, my 12th is Sunday.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier on this week, that the 12th anniversary is expensive. That's what
Is
it is.
it expensive? Like, are we still doing this, getting presents
I had to
for
Google it.
5?
I had to Google
What
it.
is this, Game of Thrones? Like, what is...
Why is this Game of Thrones?
It's just strange rituals. Like...
That's the Game of Thrones aspect.
it's just these strange rituals. It's like, look, weddings are just kind of like, you're just buying your parents' friends dinner, right? It's like... It's a horrible
It's a
event.
celebration of love, Jim.
Oh,
So are you
come
telling
on.
me I'm
That's
single,
what
Jim?
sex
Are you
is.
telling me to never get married or have kids?
No, I am saying, by the way, I am convinced, and I'm sure I don't know you that well,
Yes.
but being a father is the only important thing that a man can do. All the rest of it is ridiculous. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like, Jim, I've got my radio show.
Well, you've got the Jim Gaffigan show that, by the way, you co-executive produce and co-write with your wife.
When your kids come in at night and you can be that source of comfort, even for a moment, until they blow you off and go right to your wife. There is something important about that, right? That you can't...
Sure.
You can't articulate. It sounds like BS. I don't know if
But I think what you're telling Chris Brockman is instead of getting married, just buy your folks' friends dinner and just save everybody the trouble.
Got it.
Just
I can do that.
Just take them out. Just take them out for dinner.
I would definitely recommend eloping to everyone.
I'm going to get them Hot Pockets.
Yeah,
Good for
get
you,
them
sir.
that. Get them
Good
that.
for you. You're very high cuisine. Jim Gaffigan is here in the Rich Eisen Show studio. Again, sneak previews of this show, The Jim Gaffigan Show, available June 8th on iTunes, June 9th on TV Land, where it debuts July 15th.
Yes.
And also there is a Madison Square Garden show, June 20th. Yeti in in the City, where tickets
Yes.
are available now at jimgaffigan.com. 844-204-RICH is the number to dial. We're going to take a minute break and come back with a phone call or two for Jim Gaffigan here, who I am told looks just like one of the punters in the National Football
I
League.
do.
That's what I've been told.
I do.
That's next here on
Except
the
for
Rich
I'm
Eisen
better
Show.
looking.
Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. I am here with Jim Gaffigan. When is your December 12th is your
December
Madison
12th.
Square Garden show. That's a
Yeah.
big room to
Comedy's
to
about
sell, man.
intimacy, so why not do it in an arena?
Well, I remember Andrew Dice Clay would do shows
Yeah.
at MSG back
Well,
in the
that's the bar keeps kind of getting raised on the statement play. Well, you know, Kevin Hart's doing the Eagles Stadium. Two
The
of them.
link?
Is he really?
Kevin Hart is so big. I think he's getting his own country. He is huge.
Hardistan? Is that what it's going to be?
Hardistan.
I
He's
like
getting
it.
his own country.
Jim Gaffigan here on the Rich Eisen Show. You want to take a couple phone calls?
I would love to.
Let's take a phone call. Roscoe from Kentucky, from Louisville, has been holding
Best
on
name ever.
for a couple of hours. Roscoe, you're on the phone with Jim Gaffigan. Roscoe?
Hey, Rich. First off, just want to thank Rich, Brockman, and Law, everybody. I listen to you all every day on my lunch. So
Thank you, sir.
yeah, Jim, I'm very excited to talk to you. I'm completely honest here when I say about 2 nights ago I was watching your Disney bit from Mr. Universe, and I heard you're going to be on the show today, and I called in a few hours ago because I said I'll hold just to say hi to him because I'm a big fan.
You're the best.
I wanted to say, my wife and I, it resonates well with us, your comedy. We have 2 daughters, 5 and 2, and we listened to you at Beyond the Pale. I put it in the car on a CD a few years ago, and we've watched you ever since then, all your stand-ups and specials and everything, and we just really love you. And I wanted to say that, you know, you're one of my favorite comedians.
Thank you. Can I ask you a favor? Can you send me like $10,000? Just you can do it in installments, but if you could just send me money, that would be great.
Well, I am sending you money every time I buy your specials.
That's true.
But you know what? That's not enough, frankly.
Well, I wanted to come to your Cincinnati show in Taft. I was actually looking, like I said a couple nights ago, your Contagious tour, and I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and
Yes.
the Taft show sold out already. So I was
It's-
going to come up there, so I might have to just catch it on the special.
Yeah. Well, you know, you could drive. I know I have a show in L.A. If you really wanted to go, you could drive to L.A. No, I'm going on a tour, a 30-city tour.
When?
With all 5 of my kids.
Oh, my
And my wife on a tour bus.
Oh, my God.
That's why
What are
I'll
you,
be
the
there.
Partridges?
Yeah,
Like,
but
is your manager Reuben Kincaid? What the hell?
And so, but we do it, and Cincinnati is one of the stops, and but it's fun. We do it twice a year sometimes.
Oh, my
And but you know, you get to spend time with your kids. I mean, you travel a lot.
Not on a bus with my children.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you want to be around them, you know.
Yeah, I'm not taking Susie and my 3 kids on a bus to the Bengals game, and then we're going to go from there to Jacksonville because the Jaguars are taking on the Titans
I have to do some
again.
pre-interviews.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, that's going to happen.
But
by
I
the way,
napped during
Jim,
the day.
I love the way how warm and fuzzy you are with your fans. That was pretty neat right there.
Really?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
being sarcastic? I think of myself as approachable.
Well, sure.
Send me 10,000.
I appreciate. I mean, I didn't say send me 30,000.
You gave me the
That's true.
installment.
By the way.
I didn't want to overdo it.
No. Yeah, I'm
You know
glad
what
you
I mean?
pointed that out. Good point. Ken in Richmond, Virginia, you're on with Jim Gaffigan here on The Rich Eisen Show.
Hey, Rich, listen, I want to say what a great show you have, and I listen to it every day.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask Jim.
Hold on,
Jim,
Ken, can you send me $10,000, please?
I just sent Jim 5.
That'll do for now. That's we'll do quarterly.
I just wanted to ask Jim, don't send those people to my house anymore. It's got really awkward. I promise I'll send more.
All right. Well, you know, it's just a reminder. We got to keep it going, right? It's like,
Thanks. I appreciate you letting me, not letting me forget, Jim. Thank you so much.
you know what? It's a relationship. It's ongoing.
You're my favorite comedian. I love you. I wanted to ask you, I know you go everywhere. You do all different stand-up. Is there one thing that you like to do? I mean, you have great bits. Is there one topic, is there one particular thing that you really, really enjoy?
Do you have a favorite bit?
Oh, I would say the newest joke is always the funnest thing. The funnest thing I'm sure it's the same for any comedian. Nick Thune would say the same thing. The funnest thing is when you're on stage figuring out an idea and sometimes something magic happens. It's usually Jesus. Something magic will happen and it'll turn into a joke. So that's what I think comedians are chasing. That's why, Seinfeld, who has more money than God, does stand-up.
Still, Jay Leno.
It's so rewarding. It's an amazing thing.
I did it for 3 years in college, and it was the toughest thing I've ever had to do. And it's made everything I've ever done since then easier.
Right.
True story.
Yeah.
Getting up there in front of people and trying to read a room and figure it out, and it's not.
It's very fun. It's very fun to do stand-up, but it also you get spoiled because then working on, a television show where there's 100 people, and you have to work for like 12 hours a day. It's unnecessary.
So what's this about John Ryan, the punter of the Seattle Seahawks, that you keep getting people tweeting at you at Jim Gaffigan?
John Ryan, when he threw the
fake
touchdown,
field goal, right?
The
the
fake
touchdown,
field goal, and he had this ridiculous look on his face. But I've always looked like him.
There's the photograph in the NFC Championship game for the radio
and
audience.
Everyone was like,
looking at
"That's
it
Jim
right
Gaffigan." But I had gotten it every time every Sunday or when they were on Monday Night Football, it would just be like, Jim Gaffigan, the punter for the Seahawks. And so we had this, and his wife is a very funny comedian, but we had kind of this, Twitter relationship where he was going to come to my show when I was in Phoenix but I think the Super Bowl was more of a priority.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But but there's always been some NFL players that have looked like me.
And you have performed for NFL owners, correct?
I did.
How'd that go over?
I would say.
How about that room when you're reading?
I would say performing for billionaires is, but I would say I bombed in front of the NFL owners.
You did not.
I think I did. So it was in Indianapolis. And so it was, Jerry Jones just staring at you. It's like, they're just like, these people, they don't go to the grocery store. They don't know. I'm kind of a populist, I guess. And so I pretty much bombed. I mean, they were all very nice. Jim Irsay was like so nice. He sat in the front and he laughed at every joke. But everyone else was like, who is this guy? Like the year before, I think they had Jamie Foxx or someone. They're like, who is this?
Why is the punter of the
this
Seahawks doing stand-up for us?
But supposedly, comedians always bomb at these, because every city, there will be the host owner will have an event, and there'll be a comedian. And supposedly, Jamie Foxx was really filthy when they did it in Dallas.
And it worked.
Yeah.
For Jamie, from what you heard?
I don't know. It's like
what was your warm-up?
There was no warm-up. Jim Irsay introduced me, and I went up. And
what was your first? Do you remember your first?
John Mellencamp, who's like a bundle of warmth. And look, I'm from Indiana. I love John Mellencamp.
Sure,
He was an example of someone that got out. So, but I remember I met him. He was there, and so it was, I was like, I can't believe I'm meeting. And because his son, I think, liked my stand-up. And so he was there not laughing also. There was it was like a meeting of people that weren't going to laugh at a joke.
Otherwise known as the owners of the National Football League.
Except for Jim Irsay, who was super nice.
Yeah. Jim Gaffigan's Jim Gaffigan Show, premiering July 15th on TV Land, at Jim Gaffigan on Twitter. Be part of the 2.3 million plus who follow him, and that includes me. The show December 12th at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, December 12th.
Yeti in the City. Tickets available now on jimgaffigan.com. Please come back. Whenever you're in Los Angeles, please include us.
Yes, definitely.
You are the man. Thanks for coming on here.
Thank you, buddy.
Jim Gaffigan right here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.